Hello, Aquarius. I'm so happy to be talking to you guys. It's been a while, but I'm back. I've been having you guys on my mind all day. I think there's just a lot of stuff going on with your sign here. I think there's a lot of like frustrated energy. I feel like you guys might be getting a little heated right now. But before we get into that, I got this little intro for you here. So let's get into your May reading, guys. All right, so Aquarius, I didn't talk to you guys for a couple months. I know the last time we spoke, we talked a little bit about bigger ideas, right? Like pushing the boundaries of what you thought was possible. And while I was like meditating on your sign for this month's readings, I just kept getting this really strong feeling that maybe Aquarius is like getting a little heated, right? That Aquarius is maybe feeling like a little tired, like in a way where it feels like you guys are maybe putting a lot of your energy out into the world and maybe not getting back, not any of it, but maybe not as much as you want to, right? It's like this whole like 3 steps forward, 1 step back. Like you got a little hole in your bucket, right? You have a hole in your bucket, dear Aquarius? Dear Aquarius? A hole in your bucket? That's what I'm feeling for you guys. Like things are moving, but not in the way that you want, right? And I do feel like this month, what's going to be required of you guys in your energy, and we're going to get all into that now, is really innovating, big innovation, big rethinking of like everything that you've become familiar with, your methods, like all that stuff. I think in May needs to be really reconsidered, right? So here's what we're going to do. I have a new deck here, and I'm kind of doing a different layout. What I'm going to do is pull a couple cards. We're going to get into like April, what happened in April, kind of summing up some of the lessons for us there. And then we'll go ahead and dive into May, right? Also, guys, I'm going to put the description of these cards in the description, as well as I have repriced all my private readings. So if you're interested in checking one of those out, those have been going really well. Great feedback. So go ahead and check that on the description as well, right? All right, so we're going to get started just pulling like 3 cards to see where Aquarius is coming into May with, like what your energy is. Okay, 2 of Pentacles, good start here, right? I think that it's clear that you guys, you know, this is what I was starting off saying here. You guys are not by any means, I think, in a bad place. I think there's a relative amount of stability with the 2 of Pentacles, right? There's a relative amount of balance, but in a way where I almost feel like you guys are maybe bored, right? Where this is, to me right now, for some people, the 2 of Pentacles is like super, like something to aspire to, right? But this is almost like this came a little easy to you guys. You got to the place of stability. You got to the place of security in like your material world, in like even your relationships, right? But I feel like it's missing a little pizzazz, if you will, right? And so the next card we have out, the Page of Swords. This to me is like kind of your energy, right? Wanting to venture out, wanting to try new things, wanting to like push yourself and push your career, push your relationships forward, but maybe not really quite understanding how to or knowing where to put your energy, right? The Page of Swords, you know, he's active, he's ambitious, he's focused, and he wants to grow, but he still doesn't quite know. He's kind of like swinging in the dark a little bit still, right? This is, to me, is you guys maybe in April coming into May, feeling a little bit like you're not sure where to put your energies. Ready for it, guys. Like, look, Ace of Wands. So we're kind of going in this way. I think it's going to come out this way in the camera. Yeah. We're kind of going in this way from like this really earthy stability, sense of balance, and then wanting to move out of that, wanting to like get out into like the wild blue yonder, wanting to like strike out on your own, wanting to like enterprise is what I feel like with this Page of Swords. And now it's like you have that energy. This is great because this month, one of the key features I wanted to talk about here, my nose is itchy. I think I'm getting allergies. It's like spring already in LA. I mean, it's spring everywhere, but like it's actually like hot and there's like flowers and everything. Anyway, point being, This month we have Mars going into your sign, into Aquarius. And that's going to be really important to you guys, especially with this Wands energy, right? Because if you have been feeling a little tired, if you have been feeling like your efforts haven't been paying off, if you have been feeling like, you're comfortable in your relationship, but you kind of want more, you're kind of okay in your work, but you kind of want more. Like, this to me is like the restless Aquarius spirit. The restless Aquarius spirit, like wanting to venture out and make the life that you dream for yourself, right? So I think we're coming into May with a lot of hopes and dreams like lots of big ideas, maybe not like specific, maybe not something that you're ready to venture out into, but where you're kind of building up the energy, right? Where you're kind of figuring out for yourself where you think you fit in and where like your place in things is, right? So let's jump into May and start pulling cards for the central situation. We'll keep talking about this Mars in Aquarius energy, because with a planet like Mars, with all that fiery, dynamic warrior energy, gets shit done, in a sign like Aquarius, for a lot of people, the energy can become a little erratic, right? So central situation, we have the King of Wands. Perfect. Like, we're talking about Aquarius finding focus. We're talking about Aquarius, like, to me, the King of Wands are a tool of directing energy. It directs the will, right? So to me, what I'm seeing in my head is just this funnel, this really laser beam kind of quality energy, like being directed towards like what it is that you want. It's possible also that many of you could be dealing with the fire sign in your life who's kind of influential. This could be, for a lot of you, a father figure who's maybe feeling a little oppressive to you, like a boss who's maybe feeling a little oppressive. Somebody, I feel like this might be somebody who's actually standing in your way a little bit. Even if it's like someone who cares about you and it could be helpful. Maybe someone who's just like oppressive a little bit, right? But I also feel like with this, more importantly, it's about you guys really trying to focus yourself, right? Because like I was saying with that Mars in Aquarius energy, it's kind of erratic, but it's what you need. It's like the energy of taking like a pot of spaghetti and throwing it against the wall, seeing what sticks, right? Just trying different things, trying new ways of doing things, trying new ways of putting yourself out into the world, taking on new ventures. So some of you might be like in a business situation or a career situation where it almost feels in a way like, remember I talked about the boredom of the Two of Pentacles? Almost like you've kind of mastered it, right? Everyone can still learn, everyone can still progress, but I feel like for you guys, there's a feeling of like, okay, you've accomplished you've accomplished basic proficiency. More than basic. Like, okay, let me just use the original word I used, mastered. And now let's see where you're going from here, guys. The Star. Like, this is the Aquarius card. This is that card. Guys, of everything, I swear, when I've been doing these readings, it's like, I don't know if it's this new deck, I feel like I connected with it instantly, or maybe I'm just getting like psychic as fuck, I don't know. But everything I've been saying about these meditations on these signs, like, has been showing up really strongly in the cards. This is you. This is you at your best. This is you dreaming. This is you innovating. And now one thing I want to say about the Star and the Water Bearer is that what I feel like when I was reflecting on Aquarius is that the water bearer kind of has to be conscious right now of where they're pouring their energy, of what they're giving the water to, where it's spilling, right? Because here, there's almost like there's a balance in one way, but then in another sense, it could be like wasted, right? This water that's falling onto the ground. You could see it in that way. But this is really about embodying your best qualities, about taking maybe like the expertise that you've gained. That's the word I was kind of looking for, expertise, right? It's not like you have nothing else to learn, but you've like killed it, you slayed it, right? In what you do. Taking that skill, that energy, whatever that developed in you as a person, and really like going real entrepreneurial with it. So if it's starting a business, if it's like getting into an industry you've always dreamed of, Honestly, this could also be relationships. You know, are you in your dream relationship, or are you in something that's just comfortable? Something that's familiar? Something that's maybe starting to feel a little boring? A little stale? Not that you don't love the person, right? But expansiveness. Dreaming, and in a way that's so like inner child innocent. Right? Like we talked months ago about getting into the headspace where you were when you were younger and you thought everything was possible, and like the things you dreamed of, and like, are you pursuing those things now? I feel like maybe now, like when I said about innovative ideas and rethinking things, I think Aquarius might be to a place where they're reconsidering like their dreams as adults. The dream house, the dream relationship, the dream career, right? And like now in a place, like I said, where you can take it more seriously, where you have skills and you have abilities and you have personality traits, you have networks of people, you have you know, characteristics that now maybe enable you to succeed in the things you dreamed about in a different way than you were able to when you were younger. You have more wisdom about your relationships. You understand your industry better, right? So let's pull more. I want to look specifically at love now for Aquarius, like, because I got the feeling, I'm getting the feeling of like both love and business coming up in this reading. So let's take a look at love first. All right, Ace of Swords. So our second ace of the reading, right? Not the easiest energy. I think for those of you in a relationship or in love, there's a consideration that you're maybe making, and I don't mean like, do I stay or do I go? I mean, just like, is this fitting me? Is this suiting me? Is this what I need? Is this what I really want in my life? The Ace of Swords, like, has that sharp, cerebral, like, the air energy is coming in strong so far for you guys, right? We got the Princess, blah, 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 Page of Swords, and the Ace of Swords. Very, like, strike out swords energy. Very, like, take life by the handle. And just like fuck it up. So some of you might be reconsidering the relationships you're in. Some of you might even be reconsidering if a relationship period is something that you even want. You might have been like pursuing a relationship and now realize that like you're kind of good single. Or that you really wanted a relationship, or that you're in a relationship and it's like, hey, I kind of miss being single. I kind of feel like I didn't figure myself out enough. I didn't figure out my life enough, like on my own. One second. Just wanted to make sure my microphone was on. So now that we looked at love, I want to take a look at your career too. And I want to expand on that a little bit, but let's just get into this first. Career. 9 of Cups. So this is the energy, like this is what's happening here. Aquarius is breaking free. Aquarius is kind of like getting out of your own way. Mentally, right? If there's a relationship that might be holding you back, like it's maybe time to like release yourself from it, right? If it's not about a relationship that's holding you back, but this could even be someone like changing their mind about what they want, in a sense where like maybe they didn't want marriage at one time and now they're realizing that they really want a family. Now they're realizing that like they have the financial stability, they have you know, things coming to you that make you feel optimistic, that make you feel like, you know, I'm ready to have like that emotional sustenance of you know, getting married if that's what you want, having kids if that's what you want, right? Maybe it's even just taking a relationship to the next step. That's what the Ace of Swords can be here, right? Just like a new way of thinking about this thing that's part of your life. But when it comes to your career, guys, I feel like it's super important now to venture out. It's super important to like take risks, right? The Page of Swords, he takes risks. The King of Wands definitely takes risks. I don't know why I can't speak right now. Definitely takes risks. He doesn't ever think he can fail. It's time to hone in on what you really want. It's time to hone in on not just like what pays the bills, but what is like emotionally satisfying. Do you see all this water here? Yes, we're talking dreams. Both of these cards, it's interesting. Both of these cards, the Star and the Nine of Cups, are very dreamy, like wish-like, lofty idea kind of qualities. And they're both also very watery. It's kind of showing to me right now a connection between like the things that you accomplish in life and how it sustains you emotionally, how it fulfills you emotionally. So maybe Aquarius right now, May is the time to think about not only what pays the bills, but what fills your soul with happiness. What makes you feel like really satisfied, that you're living your passions. That's what these cards are saying to me. These cards are the cards of someone in their career who's like living their passion. This doesn't mean everyone watching this is going to be dissatisfied with their jobs. But I do feel like there's a sense here of like, I could do better. I could do more. And again, you guys are the innovators, right? We need you to believe that you can do more. Let's look at this Ace of Swords. Okay, so the Moon. So I really feel like your relationship for a lot of you is maybe just not putting you in a good place. Making you feel a little dark, making you feel maybe, I don't want to say hopeless, but not optimistic about where things might be going for you guys. The Moon can also represent secrets. So there might be, I don't know if necessarily somebody might be like, I wouldn't jump to say somebody's lying to you. But I think there is a feeling maybe of like an emotional disconnect where you just don't feel like you're clicking right. You don't feel like you guys are on the same page in the way that you want to be. There's like this underlying, unresolved, like belly of the beast issue here. Which I think for you guys, if this is what you're going through, is probably like your own internal dissatisfaction. Your own internal drive to keep pushing and be more and do more. Now, if you're in a happy relationship, again, I still just feel like there's a desire to push it, to progress. And I think if it's not progressing, that's what you guys are really thinking about, right? If you're in a relationship for a long time, and I was going to be more specific, but if you've been in a relationship for a long time and it's not going anywhere, like, is this what you want? Let's look more at the career here too, because I feel like this is super important for you guys, right? Not surprised. Eight of Swords, getting in your own way, limiting, like, how much have I been saying here about expanding what you think is possible, about like believing that more and more is possible for yourself. And then what do we get here? We get the Eight of Swords, the cards of mental limitation, the card of like lack of certainty, or like a sort of mental insecurity. I feel like a lot of you guys are maybe afraid to take a leap of some kind. Whether it's taking the risk that we talked about on like a new job, whether it's I think what it really is for a lot of you is that like what you're doing now is probably providing you a degree of security. You're making good money. You don't have to worry about it. Your work is predictable. And even if you do something fun, I still feel like it's a little predictable. Even if you're doing something that you're passionate about, I still feel like it's or an industry that you're passionate about, I still feel like there's something just like lacking. And what I think it is that you guys need to be in charge of yourselves. You guys need to be in control of your like career path in a different way. So I'm going to start pulling outcome cards here to see where we're ending up in May for Aquarius. Oh, beautiful. The Knight of Cups. You know what this is? This is following your dreams. This is rekindling like a sense of romance in your relationships, if that's where if you're in one. If not, like an interest in maybe getting out there again and like dating people, and what I was saying before about a desire to find love, to be in love, right? But also I think this is a lot to do with like just the whole vision that you have of your life, the holistic approach that you have to what it means for you to be happy and what it means for you to feel fulfilled. What does your relationship look like? What does your job look like? What does your home look like? Where are you living? Who are you living with? Normally, I would say be careful not to go too far into La La Land. But Aquarius, I think this is where you need to go. I think you need to go to fucking La La Land. Because you're smart, right? And sometimes, I just read this thing the other day about like the faults of the signs, and the fault of Aquarius is that you guys are sometimes too smart for your own good. And I kind of understand that, because what I'm feeling here is like dreaming is something that you need to let yourself do. Like you need to put your rational mind aside. You need to stop telling yourself something is impossible before you do it. You need to be a little naive and just say like, dreams are important. Imagination is important. Fantasy is a little important. It's what's going to fuel you, right? Again, your sign is the water bearer. A sign of intellect, a sign of like giving, and a symbol rather of giving and contributing to the world and stuff like that, but also like you're bearing water. Water is the element of creativity, love, passion, imagination, daydreaming, fantasy. So don't forget that part of yourselves, the part that is naturally a dreamer. You guys got cool energy going on in this reading here. We got the Fool. So this is what I was saying before about that Mars and Aquarius energy, right? Like just throwing everything out there and just trying new ways. The Fool is asking you to innovate. The Fool is asking you to be a hopeless romantic, to believe that like anything is possible, right? To try new things, to take the leap of faith, to take risks. I just feel like you guys are so capable of this. Like this should almost be like really easy to you. One more. Okay, we have the waxing moon, the last crescent moon, right? So this is like almost at a stage of completion. I think you guys are really ready for the next chapter. Back to the way this reading started, with the sense of expertise, the sense of like kind of climbing that hill, accomplishing all that stuff that you set out to, right? I think in May, not May because like this is almost full, but I think like probably in the summertime especially, I think there's going to be big things happening for you. I think a lot of you are going to move. I think a lot of you are either going to end relationships or take it to the next level, right? Maybe become serious with someone you're just seeing casually. Finding yourself in new jobs. I think for some of you, you might be traveling. Like you might find a job where you're like working in a different place, a different city, a different country even for some amount of time. I don't know where that's coming from. It's just like, again, hello, psychic as fuck. No, that's what I'm picking up here, right? No, Aquarius, I keep feeling like I'm almost done with your reading, because right now we would be pulling the rune cards, which I've been using in my private readings, and I'm working into my general readings as like a final step here. But I still feel like I want to say more, right? I feel like I want to pull one or two more cards. So again, speaking of private readings, if you are interested in one, those are in the link below. I repriced them all, so they're really affordable. I just one, I believe that like spiritual guidance shouldn't be like $150 for like 20 minutes, right? And that's an exaggeration, but that's, you know, I want to keep it affordable. I want to make it accessible. So I've added some new options, new pricing. Check that out, right? Queen of Cups. Like, look at all the dreaminess. Look at all the fantasy. This is you guys being in touch with your intuition. You know, this is like, I went to a therapist once who said that one of my skills was like, I was really good at knowing what I needed. And that's what the Queen of Cups is making me think of. This is like you guys kind of knowing what you need. Kind of knowing like it's not going to be a question to you of what you need to fill your cup with. Like, you know what's lacking. You know what's grown stale. You know where you want change and growth. And I want one more for you guys. King of Cups. So first of all, if any of y'all are fucking with the water sign, he's coming in strong, right? So as much as this could be your energy, I feel like, especially now that we have the King and Queen, and whenever the King and Queen are the same suit, especially right next to each other, like, that's crazy, come out together. Like, to me, this is like a union. I think some of y'all are getting wifed up. I think that like some relationships are getting serious. Like, this wasn't really totally a relationship reading, but I think that it's going there, right? And I think that it doesn't have to be necessarily with the water sign, but if it is a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, they're coming up very strongly here. But I just do think it's someone with this romantic quality. This might be something that annoys an Aquarius a little bit, right? Someone who's got their heads in the clouds a little bit, but like low-key, you know you like it, right? You know you like being around somebody who's just like a little flightier than you, a little more like not imaginative, like you guys don't have imagination, but a little more like daydreamy, right? Head in the clouds a little bit. I think you guys like that energy, right? So last but not least, like, there's serious like relationship compatibility here, y'all. Big time. Big time. Also, this could be representing your parents. Or just any, like, whatever your parents would be. Like, it could be grandparents, whatever. But, like, people who I think are going to be, like, offering you help. You might be getting, like, an influx of money from, like, an older person in your life. You might be getting, like, a surprise gift. That's what I'm feeling with this. Or the surprise gift could be like somebody wants to marry you or make you their man or their girl, you know? Aquarius, I like it. All right, so let's wrap this reading up with one of these rune cards, just to give us like a final step forward here. Aquarius, I was like kind of worried about you guys because I love your energy so much, especially like Gemini and Aquarius. Like we're traditionally just compatible in the zodiac, right? But I really like the way you guys like are so sharp, and you're so just almost like that King of Wands energy where you just like master shit like it's nothing, right? And I thought like this energy would get you like a little scattered, but I'm really liking the fact that like it's feeling really fruitful, really like emotionally fulfilling. We have Rido here. This is the rune of movement. So again, some of you I think in May are going to find yourself literally physically moving. Some for a job, some for like just moving like locations. But there's going to be actual physical movement for a lot of you guys. Even if it's just like taking a trip somewhere. This would be like a long distance trip, right? But again, like what I was saying by the end of the summer, Rido is movement. It's similar to the Chariot. It's the ideas of just forward progress, of your life in motion. Very Page of Swords, right? Very like getting things going, moving forward, taking big leaps and bounds. Very Fool energy, right? Towards what? Your dreams. Okay, so Aquarius, this is like, look, we got 2 cards here so far that are like kind of really validation that things are moving forward. that like, even if it doesn't feel like it, like you're on the precipice of a new life, of a new chapter of your life. In love and business. And I feel family too. This is like, I'm not saying y'all aren't grown, but this is like a growing month, I feel like, for a lot of you. Like big rites of passages, like steps forward, right? All right, Aquarius, I really love this reading. I hope you did too. Like, subscribe, comment. I love to hear from you guys. Again, personal readings are in the description. Follow me on Instagram. I'll be posting like clips of the horoscopes every month in case, like, you know, you just want a little refresher there, or just to see me acting a damn fool on a Friday night. That's cool too. But Aquarius, like, you're making things happen, right? Don't there's like an overall thawing out, I feel like, that's happening with people and their energy, where people have been a little bit in like this stupor for the past few months, and now with the sunshine and the spring and like the planets moving in certain ways, people are like snapping out of it. It's Taurus season, right? Coming down to earth, getting grounded, getting practical in their thinking. And the way you have to get practical in your thinking is like about not coming down to earth, but almost like getting a little bit away from it, which is kind of fun, right? So have fun with it, Aquarius, have fun. I love you guys so much. It's been a pleasure, and I will talk to you in June. All right, take care. Bye-bye.